Hey everybody, this is John from We Speak Easy Digital Marketing Design. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about digital marketing and more specifically inbound marketing. This is a 101 class, so you really don't have to have any background in digital marketing or inbound marketing because we're going to kind of cover the basics of it. So digital marketing, anything on the web where you're trying to attract new prospects or clients. And then inbound marketing more specifically is non-disruptive advertising on the web to get new prospects, clients, etc. So fairly simply, the way that marketing used to work in general, not just digital marketing, but all marketing used to be very disruptive. So you would have cold calling, spam emails, interruptive ads, like television ads, right? Who watches commercials anymore? No one. Why? It's disruptive. I don't want to just be sitting in front of my computer or my television and see an ad pop up and go, I'm not trying to buy a new car right now. So I don't really care. I'm not going to watch this ad. See you later. We do still see that a little bit with YouTube and some other platforms where there are disruptive ads, but the internet is getting smarter and better at this, right? So even when they are disruptive, they're a little more engaging or fun now, especially on social media. They try to blend into your background a little bit more. So we're going to talk about that. So traditional marketing has always been marketer-centric, right? We're just trying to get our message out there, get in front of your face, have you see it. Hey, we're McDonald's, buy a hamburger, right? That's your typical marketing. Or we're Coca-Cola. Here's all the great things about Coke, buy our product. We don't want to be interruptive anymore. Inbound's marketing for the next generation, right? As we get smarter and more sophisticated on the internet, which is still a super young medium, we're trying to be less disruptive, right? We want to do different things now. We want to teach. We want to educate. We want to really kind of get into your vibe and attract the right people, which is super, super important when we talk about this. So inbound marketing is just taking that and it's making that so much better and kind of stopping being disruptive and really getting into what we're really trying to do, which is just turn strangers into clients and make those people promoters and kind of raving fans of your company. That's how inbound marketing is defined by HubSpot themselves. They're the kind of kings of inbound marketing, so to speak. There's really 4 stages of inbound marketing. They are attract, convert, close, and delight. So attract, we want to get strangers, bring them into our little environment. Then they're going to kind of become visitors as we give them information and we give them educational materials and things to try to help them on their journey. We then want them to become a lead or a client for us. And then once they become a client, we want to keep educating them and keep satisfying their needs and helping them. And then they're going to be delighted and they're going to go out and tell people, hey, you got to use this company. They're great. They do all these great things. So now we're going to get into how do you do that? What's inbound marketing all about? So inbound marketing kind of encompasses a lot of different things, right? So it encompasses your website, social media, email marketing, calls to action, blogs, SEO, ads, thank you pages, all that. We're going to get into each of those things in later classes. Today's just kind of an overview. So in the 4 phases of inbound, the first one's attract. So you don't just want anybody coming to your website. It's great to everybody say, hey, we want 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people to come to our website a month. That's great. You really don't need that many to come to your website. You need the right people to come to your website. You want people who are most likely to become leads and then clients, right? That's the whole point. We don't want everybody just coming to our website. It's silly. So how do you get people to do that? There's a lot of different ways. So a lot of times it's going to be with blogging or content or social media. We're going to send people there, right? So the first thing you need to know if you want to do that is, how do we know who the right client is? Again, we're talking about not sending all traffic there. We're just sending the right traffic there. So if we're going to send the right traffic there, we have to know who our ideal client is. And to do that, we're going to do buyer personas. So a buyer persona is just a semi-fictional representation of your ideal client. How many of them should you have? Depends on what your service or product is. Some people have 1. Some people have 10. If you own a spa and you offer Botox, you could have 3 or 4, right? You could have a female one, you can have a male one, you can have a younger female one, an older female one. Depends on what your methodology is, right? So when you really sit down to do your buyer personas, and we'll go into this in our next class, you really have to hone in on who you want your ideal client to be. Your ideal client's not everyone. People say it's everyone. Anyone can be a client. You don't want everyone. You don't want anyone. You want the right person for you, because those are the people that are going to appreciate your service and keep coming back and then recommend you to other people. So we'll use the spa as an example if you're doing it, right? So you may want an older female who has some disposable income who's trying to look younger or look better. You may have a younger person who has migraines or has some kind of Bell's palsy or some kind of issue where they're trying to resolve it, right? I don't know. I'm just making things up. So you want to really hone in those things. You want to ask questions about what their day-to-day is like, what their roles are, what are they looking for, what are their answers. And that's really going to help you build content. So when you talk about attracting clients, and blogging is one of the ideal ways to do that, it's just content, right? And what we want to do is educate. We want to use that buyer persona to answer questions for that client. That client may say, hey, I have migraines, and I'm thinking about getting Botox. So they may search online, again, going back to SEO and everything else, search engine optimization. They may search online and say, Botox for migraines, right? So you may want to write an article about the pros and cons of Botox for migraines. And then you might want to write a follow-up article about holistic or things you could do at home to handle migraines before coming in for Botox, right? One of the most powerful things that I find in talking to prospects is when you say no, and not even when you outright say no, but you may say, hey, before we do this, why don't you try this? Or have you tried just doing SEO on your own? We can teach you that. We'll teach you some basics. Try it out. If you need help, come back, and we're here, right? People that don't lead with money really get your trust. I trust people way more. If I go to buy a car and they're like, hey, before you buy this car, there's not really wrong with your car. Why don't you try doing this? Or why don't you look at this? It's a little less expensive, right? Instant trust, because then you're like, all right, this person's not just trying to take me for my money. And you can't fake that. It has to be authentic. So educate, right? So that initial attraction is getting people to your website and saying like, hey, these people are cool. They've given me information. I trust them a little bit. You can send people to those articles through social media, just through doing great content on your site. Then you want to convert them, right? So we get all these people to your website, and then you're going to give them some information. Then you want to have forums on your website. You want to have a way for them to reach out to you and ask you questions so that you can answer them and kind of, again, interact, develop trust. So convert. It's your next step. Change visitors into leads. So they're going to email you, or maybe you get an email address when they download one of your pieces of content. And then you can reach out to them in 2 weeks and say, hey, how did you like the article we wrote on Botox for migraines? Did you have any relief from our holistic methods? Did you try this whatever oil, or did you try this? And they can write back and say, yeah, I tried it, didn't work. Would love to hear more about Botox. Great. So now we're going to convert them. If someone reaches out to you and asks you a question online, chat on your website, or a forum, or Facebook Messenger, those are the reasons you want to get back to people quickly and really provide a great experience, because that's inbound marketing at its core. And those, again, for the convert stage, you're talking about forums, meetings, right? Virtual meetings, Skype meetings, or in-person meetings, messages, and then keeping track of everything in your CRM. And then we get to close. And close is really when you take leads and develop them into clients. And you're going to do that by really kind of isolating your leads and kind of knowing who's a good lead. Again, if they fit your persona, if you're really following those buyer personas and doing your marketing correctly, you're going to know, hey, this is a great client for us. This person is in the demographic that we wanted. They have disposable income. They're in the age range. They meet all the criteria. Let's go after this client, right? For our company, we have core values. We pick our clients based on their core values. We have a no asshole rule, right? So if I get 5 nasty emails from somebody going, hey, just help me do this, we know they're not going to be a good fit. We also have a time commitment where if we're doing inbound marketing, we need you to be involved. You have to teach us at least a little bit about your particular company. We can learn about your industry, but we need your help. And it should be collaborative, right? Inbound marketing is not something where, again, you could just set it and forget it. You need to be involved on a day-to-day basis. Are these ads working? Is this working properly? Is this doing the job? And there is a time requirement where we do need you. We need you to be involved with content. We want you to be involved. And if we talk to somebody and they're like, hey, we don't want anything to do with this, just figure it out, we know we're not going to be successful with that. We know that in 2 months you're going to come back and go, hey, we don't have any leads yet. And we're going to say, yeah, we know. It's going to be a year. We have to build content. We have to do all this stuff. You have to be invested in content marketing and inbound marketing. it's not a quick fix. So we know those aren't going to be good clients. So you can kind of weed them out right away. And those things I think are super critical when you're doing it. So the other facets of the buyer's journey is that once you get those personas down, you really have to figure out where are they going, right? How are they consuming your content? And you have to develop that buyer's journey. So buyers have really kind of 3 phases, right? They have an awareness phase where they're just kind of learning about things, right? So you have lower back pain, you might be like, hey, I need to go to yoga or I need to do something. So I'm going to just start looking at where are the local yoga places? What are some exercises I can do at home? That's awareness, right? What are lower back exercises I can do at home? It's pretty simple. It's an awareness one. Then I might be like, hey, where are all the yoga places that are right around my work? Because I'm still in pain. I need to get something done. And then if I get to their website, I might see these great articles about, hey, try this, try that. Great. Again, that's building up trust. So then when I get to my decision phase where I'm like, hey, I just need to go to yoga, right? I'm not going to do these exercises at home. I don't have the motivation. I need to be in a group of people. I can then go do that. And at that point, I'm then looking at specific yoga studios and saying like, okay, here's a yoga studio by me. And I'm going to go there. So I'm going to make my decision. Same thing when you purchase things. If I'm looking for a podcast microphone, I'm going to gather up all my information. I'm going to read some blogs. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos. And then I'm going to say, okay, I need to make a decision. Now my decision is going to be based on price, availability, all those different things, right? So that's how you do it. So again, we need to learn all the basics, which are how to do great content on your website, how to do great social media, how to send great emails that aren't spammy, calls to action on your pages. Hey, here's a white paper. Here's exercises you can do. Here's different things. Blogs, writing great blogs that are informative. SEO, really optimizing your page for search. It's kind of an art form, right? It takes some time. It's not the biggest time sink, but it's time well spent and it's helpful. Running ads, whether they're social media ads or Google ads. Once you have that great content and great material, getting it out there in front of people. And then setting up thank you pages. If somebody does download something, kind of sending them to a thank you page and saying, hey, while you're waiting, here's something else you could do. Here's another step in the journey for you. And that's basically inbound marketing 101. The methodology behind it is be super helpful. Here's what we have that you need, and we're going to try to give you as much as we possibly can. That's it. So that's Inbound Marketing 101. We will move on to the next one. Come talk to us. We're going to try to release these every couple of days. So our next one's going to be on a different facet, tactics, whether it's email, social media. Check them out. Let us know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.